Wu Yong knew Dustin was strong, but he never imagined this strong. From the beginning of the fight, although he had been at a slight disadvantage, he still believed that his strength wasn't far off from Dustin's. After all, in his eyes, Dustin was merely using some lightfoot techniques and a hit-and-run style, clearly avoiding a direct confrontation. He always thought that as long as he found an opening, he could defeat him. However, when Dustin unleashed his true strength, Wu Yong finally realized how wrong he was, and how terribly he had misjudged everything. It wasn't that Dustin only knew how to fight guerrilla style. He had been holding back the entire time, giving Wu Yong plenty of face. Once Dustin stopped suppressing his strength, defeating him was effortless. Even without using any techniques, just relying on pure strength, speed, and reaction time was enough to completely overwhelm Wu Yong. To put it simply, the gap in cultivation was too big, so big that no amount of skill could make up for it. At that moment, it wasn't just Wu Yong. Aside from Third Prince Julius, who had expected this outcome, the others were all stunned. None of them thought that after Dustin truly unleashed his power, he would defeat Wu Yong with just a single punch. And Wu Yong wasn't just anyone, he was a battle-hardened martial grandmaster, one of the top experts at his level. Yes, Wu Yong had exhausted a lot of energy from his earlier aggressive attacks. But that still couldn't take away from the sheer dominance of Dustin's blow. They had all completely underestimated the seemingly skinny Mr. Dustin. Mr. Dustin's strength is astonishing. I admit defeat wholeheartedly. Wu Yong stood up, clasped his fists, and bowed to Dustin with genuine respect. The contempt in his eyes had completely vanished, replaced by awe. In the military, strength is revered above all. And someone like Dustin, who possessed incredible power at such a young age, naturally drew admiration. General Wu, you're too kind. Dustin returned the salute, humble and composed. He had only come to help Third Prince Julius drill the troops. There was no pressure at all. Victory was already within expectation. So, now you all understand what it means when people say, "There's always someone better?" Third Prince Julius's gaze swept across the crowd with a hint of reproach. You all train hard day in and day out, but many of you are still arrogant and overconfident. I invited Mr. Dustin here today specifically to teach you a lesson. Remember, from today on, remain humble and keep pushing forward. Yes, sir! Everyone responded in unison. Dustin's incredible strength at such a young age had definitely ignited their fighting spirit. Of course, Third Prince Julius added with a smirk. If anyone still refuses to accept this result, you're welcome to challenge Mr. Dustin again and test your own abilities. At those words, the crowd exchanged glances. Even Deputy General Wu got flattened with one blow. If they went up, they'd just be walking targets. The strength gap was too wide. Sparring at that level wouldn't temper them, it'd just be a beating. I'll go! At that moment, Zhang He, who had been itching for a turn, finally stepped forward. As the commander of this elite unit, Zhang He was naturally much stronger than Wu Yong. Now that Wu Yong had lost, whether out of respect or to regain some pride, Zhang He had to step up. It's rare to meet someone like Mr. Dustin. I'm eager to learn from you. I hope you'll indulge me. Zhang He clasped his fists respectfully. He was physically larger than Wu Yong by a good margin, with even greater strength and deeper cultivation. In his mind, if he went all out against Dustin, he figured he had a 50-50 chance of winning. Brother Dustin, I'll have to trouble you again, Third Prince Julius said with a grin. No problem. Since General Zhang is interested in sparring, I'll gladly oblige, Dustin replied calmly. Mr. Dustin, we've already compared fists and feet. How about we test our weapons this time? Wu Yong suggested with a smile. Compared to unarmed combat, he was much more skilled with weapons. Naturally, he wanted to play to his strengths. Sure, Dustin nodded. Men, bring me my blade, Zhang He barked. Soon, two elite soldiers carried over a massive saber. Zhang He grabbed the handle in one go, spun it twice in the air, then slammed it into the ground. Boom! A muffled thud echoed as the ground trembled slightly. Mr. Dustin, the training grounds have dozens of weapons. You may pick any you like, Zhang He said loudly. I'm used to using the sword. Dustin didn't say much. He simply reached out with one hand, and a long sword from the weapon rack shot into his palm, landing precisely. The sword's blade buzzed with a faint hum, trembling slightly. None of the weapons in Third Prince Julius's estate were ordinary. Even this sword was forged from black iron, sharp enough to slice a strand of hair in midair, a sign of the estate's deep resources. Mr. Dustin, please! Zhang He held his heavy saber in one hand, taking a firm stance. Please! Dustin returned the courtesy, holding the sword in a reverse grip. Everyone's eyes were locked on the two of them, faces full of anticipation. One was their commanding officer. The other, a powerful martial artist brought in by the prince. With weapons now in play, who would come out on top?
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace. But now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase. Keep